Queen Anne is known for signing the Act of Union in 1707, which merged the Kingdom of England and the Kingdom of Scotland into the United Kingdom of Great Britain. She grew up in a politically tumultuous environment during the English Restoration period following the fall of the Puritan monarchy of Oliver Cromwell. Her journey to the throne was long. Let's go back to the year 1660, 5 years before Queen Anne was born. At that time, the English Restoration was underway. The English Restoration refers to a period in English history that began in 1660 when the monarchy was reinstated after several decades of Puritan rule under Oliver Cromwell. During this time, Oliver Cromwell led the English Commonwealth, a period in which the monarchy was abolished, and the country was governed by a Puritan legislative council. Oliver Cromwell and his forces overthrew King Charles I in 1649 and ruled with strict Puritan governance for over a decade. In 1660, after Cromwell's death, the political landscape underwent a drastic change as the English people yearned for stability and monarchy. This led to the restoration of the monarchy, and Charles II, the son of Charles I, was invited back to England to become king. By the way, I've discussed the tragic story of King Charles I before, so if you're interested in his execution, I've left a link in the description. Now, back to the discussion. Queen Anne was born in 1665, during a period of transition in England as it moved toward the restoration of the monarchy. Anne was the daughter of James II of England and Anne Hyde, and she had an older sister, Mary, who would later become Mary II of England. You should know that her father, James II, also known as James VII in Scotland, was the brother of Charles II. They were both the children of King Charles I and Henrietta Maria of France. This means that Anne was the granddaughter of Charles I and the niece of Charles II. In 1683, at the age of 18, Anne married Prince George of Denmark, who later became King George II of Denmark. They had several children, but unfortunately, all of them died at a young age. Then, in 1685, her father, James II, became the King of England after the death of Charles II. King James II ruled England from 1685 to 1688. Unfortunately, James II was a devout Catholic, and his reign was filled with religious tensions and conflicts with Parliament and Protestant groups in England. This was quite different from his brother's reign. Charles II was a relatively moderate Anglican when it came to religion. He generally supported religious tolerance and issued the Declaration of Indulgence in 1672. After 3 years of ruling the monarchy, James II was ousted from the throne. So, did the throne go directly to Anne? No. Prominent figures in England, including Protestant politicians and nobles, began to grow discontented with James II's rule. They agreed to invite King William III of Orange from the Netherlands to invade England and seize the throne. King William III was the husband of Anne's sister, Mary II, Mary Stuart. In fact, James II tried to address the crisis he faced, but it seems he feared his father's tragic fate might befall him, so he eventually fled to France. In November 1688, King William III arrived in England and later became the King of England after the Glorious Revolution. King William III ruled the English monarchy for 14 years. In 1702, King William III passed away. His death in 1702, without heirs, raised questions about who would succeed the English throne. This is the doorway that led Anne to the English throne. Queen Anne became the heir to the throne after the death of King William III for various reasons, including historical, political, and religious considerations. After the death of King William III, there was a desire to keep the throne within the Stuart family to maintain dynastic continuity. Additionally, Anne differed from her father. She was an Anglican, which aligned with the majority religion in England. Anne had significant political support in England, influenced by politicians and military leaders who supported her, such as Lord Marlborough, who played a crucial role in the War of the Spanish Succession. As a result, Anne was seen as the most suitable choice to succeed King William III. She became queen in 1702. Queen Anne's reign was a significant period in the Stuart Dynasty because she was the only member of the dynasty to rule England after the death of King William III. This marked the return of the Stuart family to the English throne after the interruption caused by the Glorious Revolution. During Queen Anne's reign, there were several important policies and events that impacted England and Great Britain. One of the most significant events during Queen Anne's reign was the War of the Spanish Succession, 1701–1714. Anne supported an alliance with Austria, the Netherlands, and Portugal against France and Spain in an effort to prevent the unification of the Spanish and French thrones. The war lasted until 1714 and ended with the signing of the Treaty of Utrecht, which divided Spanish territories in America and Italy and recognized Philip V of the Bourbon dynasty as the King of Spain. Anne was a devout Anglican, and during her reign, she supported the Act of Union in 1707, which merged the Kingdom of England and the Kingdom of Scotland into Great Britain. This laid the legal framework for the modern United Kingdom. Anne's government faced financial challenges and the need to address a significant budget deficit. This led to the introduction of various taxes, including taxes on alcoholic beverages such as beer and gin. Anne played an active role in foreign policy, especially regarding the War of the Spanish Succession. Her decision to join the alliance against France and Spain played a crucial role in European events at the time. Domestic politics during Anne's reign was influenced by two main factions, the Tories and the Whigs. Anne was a Tory and supported the policies proposed by this group. Political power at home often centered on Anne's close friend, Sarah Churchill, Duchess of Marlborough, who had significant influence in the government. Queen Anne's reign also marked the end of the Stuart Dynasty in England. After her death in 1714, the House of Hanover, a German dynasty, took over the throne with King George I. Queen Anne's government was a pivotal period in English history, encompassing events such as the European Wars, the formation of Great Britain, and domestic policies that influenced the country's future. These policies reflected the challenges and changes in English politics and society at the time.